telephone switch to arm light on.
Switching command to internal. Fuel tank pressure. 9, 8. Ignition. Main stage. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Fuel tank pressure.
Welcome back, everybody, to another great night of CSC action. Looking forward to seeing our Division 2 competitors, see who gets that third place position. My name is Nick Teixeira, joined by Hello Kitty, Jen Mounts. Jen, it's a pleasure to have you on.
It's great to be here for a Division 2 match. We've got Sean emergency landing planes. We got Will causing, well, wreaking havoc any town he visits, which is currently Sin City. So you guys are stuck with the A team today. What a pleasure to be here.
Well, for reference, Sean isn't actually landing the plane himself in the emergency. He just happens to be next to an explosion, but that's fine.
Tomato.
So, no, it's absolutely fun to be able to have you on. We're about to have a crazy week in Vegas, but these players still have a great match to play because you want to get to top 3 for Brett Hollinday, returning champion. He's done it once. He wants to do it again, and he obviously proves that he has the capability to do so. But Bobby Dees has had moments of brilliance this season, and then a couple of shortcomings like we saw in his last match, which sent him to the losers side of the bracket here. It's going to be really tough competitors. That's like what Division 2 is all about, Jen.
I'm actually really excited to kind of see some cricket strategy because I've been playing a lot of steel tip lately, and I really miss the comfort of soft tip thinking. So I can't wait to see what unfolds.
Well, I'm excited. We already practiced our Boom Goes the Dynamites in the background here. Sean will be here to review them in the chat. Let us know who you're cheering for. And Jen, why don't you let us know about our first competitor tonight?
Well, our first competitor here is a tall drink of water. Mr. Actually, you have 2 screens up for me, so I just don't know which one you want me to lead with.
Tell us about Brett Hollinday.
Okay, thanks. We're professionals here. Mr. Brett Hollinday, a previous Division 2 champion. He's coming in with a winner's mindset. Nickname, the Legend. Brilliant. I actually did not know that. So this is great information for me. His vendor, Midwest Coin, of course, located in Legends Bar. There's the nickname reference if I had just read 2 lines down. Nearly 2 decades of play under his belt. Again, a winner's mindset. He's got context. He has experience. It's legendary. A brilliant average of 4.67 MPR. Throwing some darts from a drawer. That's fantastic.
Oh, I love it. Brett, I mean, being a champion, but also just not even knowing the barrels he's throwing, I think is such a high aura maneuver, as the kids would say. I think it's absolutely incredible, but it shows you it's not the equipment. It's a lot of time the person throwing the barrels at the end of the day. Taking a look over here, we got Bobby Dees Jr. making a return. I believe it's his 3rd appearance on the live stream this season. That's going to be Big Red is his nickname. Playing for Playmore, Coin Op. Location is Jack's Place. Now, we do normally have cameras at Jack's Place. Fortunately, they're having a really bad internet. And at first, I thought it was just the camera system breaking, but actually looking at it, the match that they're trying to connect to is currently crashing. So we'll see how that goes. So internet problems there. So we will only get Brett's point of view tonight. Years played, 12 plus years, averaging 4.72, so averaging 0.05 above Brett at a 61.4% win rate. They're number 1 and 2 in win rate, despite being on the loser side of the bracket. Incredible. And throwing Target Echo 21 gram barrels. So this should be an interesting matchup tonight, Jen.
Very competitive in average, very, very similar NPRs. So I'm excited to see who's just got the better demeanor tonight and who's going to come out on top.
Well, hopefully it's the fans, and hopefully you guys have a good time. I see so many different people joining in and saying high praises already. Most of them not even saying where's Will and Sean in a negative light, but in a good one. So, hey, look at that. We're popular, Jen.
I love that it's straight up, whoa, that's not Sean and Will. we've got a bit of a different team here. Thank you for the comments, guys. Thanks for joining. It's a special treat. I don't come on very often, so I'm excited to talk some darts, and then we'll be bringing you guys more action in Vegas after with the whole group together.
Well, if you guys want to know the format-specific rules of the CSC Challenger Series, well, I forgot to get the script from Sean. But let me tell you, it's going to be a best of 17 legs, race to 9 format. Take a break after leg number 7. It is going to be losers start unless the deficit goes to 3 or more legs. If that does happen, you will get to go first until that deficit is reduced to less than 3 legs between the 2 players. As you can see right now on the game screen, we're currently having some connectivity problems. I really do think there's some internet issues that is going on Bobby's bar, so hopefully we'll be able to get that sorted. But besides that, we're going to see that 3 dart count up to start it off here, 501. It's just going to be the highest score to get the start for that very first leg.
You got any predictions for us, Nick?
Yeah, I think the seasoned veteran of Brett Hollinday is going to be favored naturally in this matchup. Just knowing what he's done on the stream, knowing how he's one of the most consistent leveled players, he doesn't fall off very often. I think for the most part, that's going to be very beneficial for him. I want to take Brett Hollinday in this matchup in a 9-7 win over Bobby Dees Big Red.
Had an unlucky couple of trip 5s. Would have been a nice tight 180 for Brett, but of course Bobby's going to take our beautiful 180 to start us off here.
He just wanted to go ahead and spite me there on my pick of Brett while I'm saying it.
Yeah, he sure did. I agree with you though. For predictions, we have an amazing prediction from Ryan Schatz. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering the last name. He says Jen wins 9-0, 9-0. So I think I'm going to have to agree with you there. But just in case, I'll throw in a prediction of 9-5 actually in favor of Brett.
Oh, there you go. Well, and of course, Bobby's had some good moments. Not to discredit him, but it's when you get this late into a bracket, it comes down to your experience and nerves. I mean, you just had a video talking about anxiety at the dart line and ways to cope with that. One of the other ways to cope with it is just by having the most experience, especially in this event where it's a very unique format.
I agree. Having experience to be able to recall the more and more that's there, the more that helps with having low confidence, which is a common denominator amongst anyone that's dealing with performance anxiety or dartitis, often comes from low confidence, which just infests itself into internal dialogue that is very negative. So hopefully we don't see that moving forward with darts just being lifted up throughout North America, worldwide. A lot of positivity around the sport. It's just such an exciting time. Like right here with a boom.
No, wait. Oh, I thought you were going to hit the
got
dynamite.
nervous.
You got
got
nervous.
scared.
And also,
I have
that's not
low
the 20.
confidence.
That wasn't the 28-9 mark. Welcome to the Wednesday night show, everybody. That's number 1 tonight, and it's for Brett Hollinday. You had it. You had that boom blocked in, Jen.
I got nervous. I don't know what happened. I stopped myself. It's like snatch. It's like throwing that 180 out the window. Oh, Sean, I'm sorry, man. Just we're warming up here.
I want you guys to know you didn't see this, but she also did like the Costco guy's arm movement with the boom, and that really sold it for me at the very least on the internal production cameras. But yeah, no, great start there as Brett Hollinday, despite being against the darts, is absolutely taking control of this leg, 7-0, and no signs of slowing down until now, which is down to a pedestrian 6.25.
I think we're going to see some amazing averages here, especially when you see them starting off hot like this. That's so exciting to have this kind of energy coming in right away. Good timing on a 7 mark just to stay alive from Bobby.
Yeah, we'll see what Brett does as far as controlling the leg. He has the higher number, but of course he has to afford himself the opportunity. And you can see the Legends crowd; they're there to watch him. And I know that there's you can only see a couple of people at that table by Bobby. I assure you, when I checked the cameras earlier, there was a lot more people there as well.
Yeah.
They're playing in front of these people. They're starting off strong for both of them. I mean, even if though it's a 1 NPR difference, it's a 5 and a 6. They're going to feel happy about how they're starting this one off.
Unfortunately for Bobby, he needs 9 marks just to stay in the leg right now. Brett's ruthless on that 18. He's in a great position probably to walk up next round and just close that 16. I don't foresee Bobby pointing ahead here.
Yeah, Bobby needs to either bed the 16 or hit a 16 and a 15, some way to help make the shot harder on Brett. Also, it looks like might need some fiber internet, but we'll work on that one.
That one you can't pull out of your back pocket. Yeah.
I don't have anything in my back pocket.
Sorry, Bob. I'm still flustered from the boom. The boom cut short.
All right,
that went to die.
Well, while the internet's working itself out over there, let's boom goes the dynamite.
You can't throw it up. That's like practicing on the board right neighboring the match. You can't do it.
You can't.
I'm gonna have to mute myself.
Feels disingenuous. Oh no.
Okay, I'll mute myself and I'll throw in a couple practice ones, but I can't let anyone hear a fake one.
I can't wait to cut over to that. It just you silently boom goes the dynamite. It does look like the internet issues are a little worse than we thought at Bobby's location, so I'm going to check here with our team real quick. See what we can do about that, because unfortunately, I mean, right now if you're Brett, you're thinking, man, this is the worst timing for this. I'm throwing a 6. I don't want to slow down. Obviously not intentional by Bobby.
Someone's back there cutting cords.
I blame Sean and Will. I would like to think that that they're currently just over there making sure to cause as much mischief as possible.
Well, it looks like we're back in action here.
Yeah.
Only a 4 mark for Bobby.
And here you see Brett played smart. I love that he took the time as
what do we got? The dynamite.
Woo! We got one. There we go. Second one of the night for Brett Hollinday in leg number 1. That's how you stay composed despite something outside extenuating circumstances really affecting the game. But yeah, no, it was great because initially I was like, okay, Brett, just go up there, hit 3 16s. That's all you need for the turn. But with the break, he wanted to play it safe. He had the tee up dart, gave him all the confidence, was able to run along the bottom of the board. Great play there from the legend Hollinday.
No, it was a brilliant play. Getting the cushion when you're this close, you got to think Bobby might have winning darts in hand at any moment, especially the way he's hitting that bull. Ooh, unfortunate miss on that last one. Really needed that mark. An easy single bull for Brett to take this first leg. And there it is.
Yeah, no, great first leg there. And honestly, not a bad one for Bobby finding that 4.5. But this is what Brett can really do, which is just flex his comfortability on the board and hit those big shots early on. That's the type of stuff that'll give him a lot of confidence going into the rest of the night. And the man is really good at keeping his composure. Bobby, he's going to just have to kind of strong arm some legs here.
I'm deeply impressed to have a disruption like that and to be able to come in right off the bat with a boom round. And I think it would have been just pure perfection to hit the hat trick close. But yeah, Brett's feeling himself. He's got a little strut to his throw, approaching the line aggressively. I like it. Great demeanor.
So far, 4 mark follows 4 mark here. A lot of people over at Legends. Of course, Brett does own that bar with Gina. It's important to note as we do get another boom goes the dynamite. First one of the night, though, for Bobby Dees. And this is a true story. I had someone just ask me the other day, hey, what's that catchphrase that guy always says on your show? And I already knew that it had to have been nothing other than boom goes the dynamite.
Yes. That's amazing.
It's infiltrated into every aspect of my life. That is what people know. It's like, oh, Nick works in darts, and sometimes a guy near him or himself says boom.
It's going to be next level when a stranger says it to you. Boom goes the dynamite for Brett. A third one of the night for him, right?
That is his third one of the night. We're on track. Sean said 16.5 was the 9 mark line for tonight. I thought that was pretty bang on, but so far, our early pace is looking way better than that. Now, this is going to be a tough spot for Brett to try to get out of, even if he had he would need to find perfection on the 17s to be able to get out of there with a point lead. More likely, Bobby should just be able to continue to push on the question.
Yeah, he'll cruise through. I mean, way to come back after leg one. They've kind of just swapped performance here. Often the confidence going to who goes first, but we were seeing a little bit of the opposite here tonight.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about Division Two. Sean's kind of really hammered this note home, and I think he'd done so for a good reason, which is the fact that it's Division Two. Anything can happen. The averages don't mean anything when everyone comes in at a 0.25 separation at the start of the season. It truly comes down to the confidence and the feeling on the board. And you can see, looks like the internet is acting up again. It got stuck transitioning. And you can see Brett walked off the line, said, okay, I'm just going to go reset. He's definitely doing that right. It's very frustrating and very hard to keep a pace up.
That's smart. If you're distracted by anything, just don't approach the line yet. Definitely don't stand there and think, especially if you're a rhythm thrower. I can't tell you how many times someone has just really slowed down their pace, or they're talking or busy doing something, and I have to completely turn my back to my opponent sometimes because I just have to pretend as if I'm in a different world, and that's what you have to do. So he's just carrying on, occupying himself back there, talking to his crew, his crowd, watching him and waiting.
Everyone in chat, can you guys just for a minute here? I know we have a lot of love for Jen, deservedly so, but can everyone just be like, "Oh my God, Nick's here"? Can we just get like one round of like comments real quick? Even Gordon Stewart, we got Dad tuning in saying Jen sounds good. How about we give a quick round? Hey everyone, Nick here. Everyone say hi, Nick, please and thank you.
Sorry, Nick. There's match play going on. Beautiful 7 mark from Brett. We're gonna have to come back to that.
Back to the match.
In fairness, you're always there. You're just in the background. But yeah, they got to see the blue hair today. That's what matters.
This was the subtle reveal before I post the "I'm blue dabba dee dabba doo" tomorrow on my way to Vegas. I don't know. Is that how the song goes, or did I Scooby Doo that a little bit?
I can only sing it. I can't like talk it. That was impressive.
Thank you. Oh, hey chat, how's it going? As Steve says, who's with Jen Mounts? That's brutal.
You guys are the best.
Oh, great chat, great culture.
They just bring me in because no one can read the sponsored message well. That's all this is about.
Rephrase. We bring you in because none of us can read. That's what I would say.
I will say I did get more than 1 hour notice this time, you guys. Nick messaged me yesterday, believe it or not, and it was the choice then of Hello Kitty headphones or regular headphones, and I had to stay true to the panic. Oh my God, I need to prepare myself for a stream in an hour.
And the opposite for me, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I should get ready for the stream in an hour. No.
I'm truly impressed you hop on 15 minutes prior and you're just ready to go. You guys are pros.
Well, I mean, to be fair, though, you are an icon in the darting community, and you were commentating long before I ever did.
What's funny is I never had any intention of commentary. I actually find it to be a really difficult job, especially if your name's Will Stewart. But, it's just one of those, you fall into it, and you really need backup commentary a lot. So that's the position that I prefer to fill when you guys just need a break. But it's not my forte, I would say. But it's amazing to be a part of the groups that we work with and getting to hang out with you guys and kind of see what's going on with partners promoting darts, because they offer a lot of really cool opportunities for people, and I want to stay involved, and this is one of the best ways.
Well, that, and also secretly we're going to make you commentate the whole week in Las Vegas, and I'm just going to walk around doing whatever Jen Mounts does. I'm going to be a ex merch girl. You're not even a merch girly this year, right? You're going around.
I'm not a merch girly this time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, we're back in action. Brett really he would have needed to bed 3 rounds in a row, I think, to just kind of have a fighting chance, but he's suffering here. 15s are about to be taken away from him.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby just kind of walking to the finish line. And to be fair, despite the internet crashes, he was so heftily ahead early on from that big 9. More than likely going to be taking this leg here, getting his first one on the board, keeping this 1-1.
And just a quick heads up for anyone joining a little bit late, we have no camera for Bobby's side, so we're only going to be seeing Brett's view this match, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, just some internet issues on Mr. Bobby's side, so unfortunately we just won't be able to get that perspective. But Jack's Place, let me tell you, vibes are phenomenal there. Dennis Sandin, PPD legend, is there watching the match. No, he's there hanging out. And when Dennis is around, you know it's a good time. Here we go. Brett
I believe
Hollinday.
we saw him at Oh, sorry, Nick. I was
No,
just
no,
saying, I believe
please.
we saw Dennis at TOC last October, didn't we?
Mhm.
Because it had been a
Yes.
while, I think, since I'd seen him come back to like tournament play there. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's cool to see the Moccasin Man walk around and be in the be in the game. I love Dennis, and I think we always jokingly but lovingly call him the Golden Boy of the PPD because of his run that he had, and
Yeah.
how dominant he was. And he still is a top level shot. I mean, he played. I believe he was in the CSC this go around as well. So because I remember we were trying to get him in on the stream. So it's really cool to be able to have so many members of the program that are brand new versus also having long-standing seasoned veterans of the game and seasoned veterans of the PBD specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dennis is here.
No way.
It was good words.
There we go. Brett's back on track with another boom goes the dynamite.
Oh, we're getting there. There's something. There's something there.
4 already in like 3. He's hot and cold a little bit with the 20. He's got kind of in that take back. He twists his wrist inward. The tip of the point is facing left. The flight facing almost right, perpendicular, and then straightens it out as he releases. So it's easy to see how every once in a while he's not going to get that complete straight follow through, and it's going to slip into the treble 5, trip 5 a lot.
But you can tell, like, he really does have a snap to his dart overall, which kind of helps compensate for that. I mean, notable players that like pull the dart sideways and then straighten it out towards the end. I think Danny Baggish every time because he pulls it to his eye line and almost curves it out a little bit before following through.
There are a lot of outliers who do that exact thing. A lot of Asian pros as well, and some people kind of develop that habit a little bit later in their game.
Now, Jen, in the meantime here, I'm going to work with the team on trying to see if we can get an internet issue. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, you had that really cool flight video come out recently. Can you tell us a little bit about like the BTS behind that? Not just like the content itself, but like what it goes into do a project like that?
Oh my gosh. I wish a documentary crew was just following along the entire process. It took about 2.5 weeks from start to finish, including planning, script writing, filming, grabbing all the products, everything, editing, and developing everything ready for publishing. It was an amazingly huge project that required multiple scene locations, multiple people, mostly just a crew of 3, but that was incredible to put out. So we call it evergreen cornerstone content. So it's obviously a huge topic, something as generic as what does a flight do on your dart, and how can you even begin to know where you can start in terms of how it affects the way you throw and what you should choose. And so naturally we're going to do shafts next, then really getting down to the nitty gritty of barrels. How does weight, length, barrel texture, grip style, how does all of that affect your flight pattern? So it's just monster topics that we're beginning to cover, and we hope to get through it quickly over time as our creative team is growing. So that's exciting for me, is I get to keep hiring on and be responsible for more Gen Z kids. So it's been very humbling and very fun.
Hey, I'm glad my generation's getting some real steam in the industry nowadays.
Yeah. It's like really not that big of an age difference, but I feel ancient around 24-year-old, 25-year-olds.
I feel like I'm the exception. I don't make you feel ancient, but because I'm an old soul. I identify as the millennials I grew up watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
So just a heads up, folks, because I see a couple people talking about that. The admin staff's actually in the chat right now talking with the players to figure out what they want to do to make sure there's a fair solution between the two of them. Obviously, very much not intentional. Nothing Bobby can do about the internet at the bar that he's playing at. So they're going to try to work on a solution there. They're going to play through, but the player chat is currently talking. So that's what they're working on in the background there. We're going to see what we want to do in that regard.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell if is the player irritated at the situation or at their own darts, and they just on top of feeling just agitated for having to wait. But you never really know. A lot of people read into situations that they're externally upset, but most people have internal dialogue that's negative, that's inward. So I don't think anyone can blame anyone in this situation. It's just unfortunate. It's a difficult thing to deal with. People pull fire alarms during tournaments. Like all kinds of stuff happens that affects all players.
Gina's saying Brett doesn't have the player chat. Well, that's fair. I would ignore my messages too. Gina, I added you in on his behalf to that player chat.
Nice. A great question. How do you fix inconsistency in the chat? I have an interesting take on that. I think when a lot of people say that they're inconsistent, especially when you think about cricket, I actually think they're pretty consistently good at the top half of the board, and they're consistently bad at 16s, 15s, and bowls, especially on the steel tip side, I've noticed. So a lot of people just simply don't practice the lower numbers enough. And they don't practice being in a pressured situation enough. So in my mind, you're not inconsistent. You just don't practice the right specific things to advance the specific game you're trying to work on. And then when you have 501, you're consistently decent at power scoring, and most people just don't practice combination checkouts, counting, or doubles.
Yeah, it really goes to show when you're trying to make improvements in your game, having full comfortability with the game you're playing goes a long, long way. I know every time I've stepped off to have a strategy debate with myself, I'd say 80% of the time that I have to step off because I'm debating strategy mid-throw, I miss. Versus the times where I'm throwing in rhythm, which is something that these players are probably desperately asking for right now, is let us play in rhythm with the
little bit of rhythm
issues. But as we get another boot 8 mark, Broom goes to Jander. So yeah, no, I think working on those inconsistencies really setting those games. If you are curious about 15s and 16s, PPD has a video a guide to the 15s and 16s where I spelled strategy strategery. So there you go, guys. That's for you. It's no Jin Mountain's A to Z flights video, but it's like a third of that.
I think there's just so much to be said. And how do you define inconsistency? Because if you're talking about going from one literal leg to the next leg and there's a huge disparity, like, let's see, I just missed it in the chat. 1 second. Talked about going, I missed it. Too many people talking. 2.5 to a 4.8 quickly. So to me, genuinely, that's not inconsistent. You have to think what's happening over 15 legs, and does your performance average out there? And if it does, then you're truly not inconsistent. You just happen to get caught in a really specific situation in some of those legs that affected you mentally in some way to where your average lowered because you weren't able to close bowl, or you have to point on bowl to get ahead. That's naturally going to drag down your average. It just really just depends, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, we've talked about it, time and time again, but when it really comes to your game, I think that the conversation so loudly now has been dominated. There's a big sandbagging conversation that's going online on a lot of different platforms. And I think PPD does one of the best jobs at it all, in eliminating sandbagging. But the conversation is definitely flared up online on other forums and pages a lot more than normal in the last 12 months or so. And let me tell you, and there's a video I wanted to do and I haven't had time to do it. The video's titled is literally "Sandbagging is a you problem," because 90% of the time that you think someone's sandbagging, they are most certainly are not, and it's in your head. The other 10% of the time they do, and eventually will get caught. And that's legitimately the method or system you kind of have to go about believing in a little bit. And the moment you start thinking my opponent's sandbagging, my opponent's at the wrong average, or they just shot a 4.8, no, they just had you have a small sample size, you don't see them play all the time, and they probably just had a good leg. Everyone's allowed to have a good leg.
Yeah, I think we all develop these tales in our minds. Like I've had so many players just kind of changing the scheduled time that we had agreed upon for the match, and I'm thinking like, oh, is this gamesmanship? Like, are they, and they're intentionally like 10 minutes late, or trying to play 10 minutes early all of a sudden, like, hey, I'm ready when you are, kind of a thing. But it's almost always there's something going on in their life that they don't need to tell you their life story, or maybe they have a family member in the hospital and they have a long drive to be able to make that match, and that's why they push it out 30 minutes. So I find exactly what you said, Nick, to be spot on. If you are paranoid and you assume the worst in people, that's definitely a you problem, and it will only affect you, and it's going to give your opponent the competitive edge over you.
So what this real secret is if you guys want to get better at darts, get therapy. That's the secret.
It's true.
It actually does help.
I hate to even joke about it, but it's absolutely ridiculous that how much mentality affects your ability to concentrate, your ability to be consistent. And that it comes back to the inconsistency question. That's such a good one. I wish we could elaborate all day on it. I really don't think there's anything inconsistent about anyone's form and mechanics. Like after a certain point, you've been playing for years, you've done the work, you're just letting your mind get in the way, or you're letting some kind of external factor get in the way and distract you in that moment. And that develops any kind of pressure, any kind of pressured situation, or something like this where you have to wait a long time in between throws. I mean, it's just all about mind over matter. I would love to be. I'm not trying to demean the situation, but I would love to be in this situation because I think that mentally I would fare better than my opponent if I'm waiting a long time in between throws. I think I would have the mental edge just from naturally a little bit more patience.
And these guys are razor sharp despite the circumstance. Think about it like this: they're around 14 of 20, so and they're in a 1,000+ point game. Despite this happening, I think that is very much understated about how hard that actually is to do, to stay in that 4+ range. Yeah, very, very incredible stuff from both these players here. They are actively discussing, by the way, still in the chat, player chat between the PBD admins and themselves, what they want to do. It looks like they're going to try to reset Bobby's internet after this leg here. So might have a brief intermission or / Q&A session with Jen and Nick. That's what the internet breaks are turning into, guys. Welcome to the break sessions. Ram Guevara saying, "What's up? Get out of here, Ram. We don't want you. Get out of here, dude."
What's up? Steven coming in with the can we appreciate the fact that they're on round 14 and still at 1918 and over 1,000 points? Yes, we can. That's a lot of times what you're going to see at a higher skill level is the battle of who's going to keep the 19.
Yeah, well, the fact is that it's normally 19s versus 20s. When you get pushed off the 20 in a battle like this, it's very easy for it to just quickly all of a sudden all the numbers close at once. Brett's done a masterful job of making a stand, and look at that. Finds a beautiful 9 there in the twilight hours of this leg.
I'm so scared to say a boom on an 8 mark. I can't relive this. I can't do it.
That's a 3 in the bed. You got it.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Back to back 9 marks here in this leg. As now Brett gets a 4 in response. Jim, we'll work on it.
Oh my gosh. I get so amazed by their performance that I can't do my job. Sean, how do you do it, bud? I just want to sit back and enjoy. It's very difficult to be that sharp.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. Look at Brett finding these 18s. This is such a fascinating end to this leg. This is a very, very unique. This might be a record length round out leg in PPD history. And this is incredible. 18s, round 18, about to hit round 19. It's a shot. Doesn't take the shot at the 18s.
Interesting question. Has there ever been a round out in CSC history? Do you know that, Nick?
Yeah, multiple. It's happened several times. We've seen people do the math wrong and lose on them in the CSC Challenger Series. We famously had an incident where the wrong player put themselves first, skipped their turn, and the round out came into play. Was in season 1. And very dramatic fashion. So yeah, we've actually seen it come into play. You know, it's a rarity, the majority of the time, but it does. It definitely does show its head every now and again, and what a perfect time to do it than tonight.
I got called out for the girliest boom goes the dynamite ever. You guys are, come on. I need a confidence boost here.
All right, do it, but like pretend you're looking at Will's sales numbers.
Well, what?
No, that's some anger to your voice. Like, why do we have the overstock?
I was gonna be like, boom goes the dynamite. Like that's looking at Will's sales numbers. But I will say, today I had to cross dress, which is a very normal thing for me, apparently, for many work videos, and I had a very realistic goatee on, fake goatee, and glasses and a hat, and I was walking through the warehouse, and I would just try my best to be like, "Hey, brother," like I can't do a deep voice at all, but it was so convincing. People did not know it was me, and didn't even question that some random dude with a goatee
just walking around.
and polarized glasses were walking around.
Oh, what's he going to do on this last start? Look at this. Look at this.
Oh.
It's round 20. It's the last start in hand. If you close the 17s, you force your opponent to hit a 5 for the win.
Oh,
but he
Brett.
didn't get the close, and he didn't like his spot in the 18s. I like the debate. That's tough.
I think he didn't fully commit in his head. It had to be. It had to be that moment because his percentage chance likelihood of hitting the triple is as high, especially with how he's been performing. But I think he should have stayed on 18, just knowing how well he's been on it. Poor Brett. That was Bobby. Bobby got it done. Wow, how close was that point chase there?
That was awesome, is what that was. 4.73 to Brett Hollanday's 4.55. And after 3 legs, currently, Brett averaging a 4.8 with that 5.86, really holding that average up to Bobby's 4.56. So very close game, very tight battle. I believe Bobby's going to do an internet reset. So, Jen, are you okay with us taking some more questions from the chat? They never get
no problem at all.
This feels like the mystery eyeballs stream all over again.
Ask me anything. Oh, speaking of the eyeball hunt, you guys, it's April, but every October my company does an eyeball hunt for the employees. It all started because Employee Appreciation Week is in October, and so we kind of made it like this really fun thing where everyone on the clock gets to hunt for eyeballs, and there's prizes. And Will was genuinely butthurt that we didn't like have him live stream it. And if anyone who knows anything that we're talking about right now, it was me holding my cell phone in front of my face with a mic, just answering questions. And if you asked a question in the chat, you entered into a really cool raffle. We gave away like 50 sets of barrels. It was crazy. Raffle palooza. Anyway, Will was genuinely so upset, and I thought he was kidding, but he was reaching out like, why didn't we could have made this? My Will impression's actually pretty spot on. But he's just like, why didn't you include me? And I'm like, bro, I would have never thought to do that. It was such a low stakes thing. So anyway, long story short, folks, we're going to fly in Will this year. He's going to broadcast. We're going to have like night vision goggles. It's going to be sick. It's going to be
We're going to use real eyeballs. We got real eyeballs. It's going to be crazy. It's going to get stinky.
Skulls. And there's going to be a wheel of misfortune. It's going to be amazing. And I look forward to October this year and TOC after that. So it's going to be a really sick month this year. We do have some questions in the chat. Okay, Steven says, Jen, you review so many darts. What are your favorite set that you've ever reviewed? Oh my gosh. I'm not going to cop out and say my own darts because that's just unfair. But that's number one. But the real answer, I was shocked at how much I really, really loved when I'm of course blanking. I need to figure out. It was a torpedo shape. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I got it. It was the Target Cult 03 model. I was amazed at how well it felt, and it made me deeply consider switching to a torpedo shape, but I like the scallop too much, so I stuck with that. But that would have to be my top answer.
Well, there you go. That's the fun facts here with Jen Mounts. We're going to go ahead and, by the way, cut it over to our faces while they're working on the dartboard here in the background. So
sure.
Just a heads up, they'll see our faces.
No problem.
I thought your favorite was that the video you're working on right now about my unreleased prototypes.
You know what, Nick? I can easily blame Will because I told my boss, I was like, hey, there's just so many fans of USA Darts. Like, it would be so cool if we had a signature dart for Will. And maybe if the dart does well, we could do a line for Nick and Sean. Well, what happened? We couldn't.
You did so well for the both of you. Just like I'll sell on Sean's behalf. I guarantee
you're
you,
gonna
I will
door
be on
to
street
door.
corners. Yeah, I guarantee it. You guarantee. I'm going to get a briefcase for this, and I'm going to walk around with a nice little fedora, and I will sell these barrels.
We can keep chatting, but it's not looking good. She lost confidence in me after that one. And you know what's sad is I was the one who advocated for Will's dart, and I would have never made it a competition. But this guy teams me every day. How are my barrels doing? How are the sales? How many have you sold? How many have I sold? I'm like, Will, don't do this. You don't want to know the answer. Everything that we've every meme that we've made, every video that we have made making fun of Will, he brought this on himself. I just want that for the record that
I-
it did not come from us.
Jen, I want to warn you, as your friend, a dear friend in your life and in mine, I want you to know you are casting a world of hurt of memes that you know he's currently probably making because of the you're saying on air. So
He's not watching.
I guarantee you he's getting tagged. Whenever something breaks, someone's tagging Will Stewart. Hey, look what happens. You're not here. It doesn't work.
Oh my gosh. No, he knows. He knows what he did. We fully supported him. I was going to do all kinds of things to pump up. Like I was going to make nice cool videos, and he forced my hand, you guys. He forced me to make fun of him because he turned it into a mean competition. The day he just like took it to the next level is the day we did the In the Arms of an Angel video. If we have time, I have to tell the backstory of that.
Please, I think we got time.
It's just like a Tuesday. It's like any other day. I'm on a daily chat with Will because I talk to him every day pretty much. And he's being extra Will that day. And he's really digging it into me like, oh, how many of my barrels sold? And, I'm like, it's not looking good. Maybe we want to do some kind of a discount to like just kind of pump it up. And I'm thinking, I know I can get 10% approved, right? No problem. And he's like, oh, really? Really? You're going to do that to me? And he's just being Will. He's being hilarious. And okay, so we go to CEO, and in my mind, I'm like, yeah, like 10%'s right. Like we'll do a video, it'll be funny. We'll make it a whole thing about how we can't sell these darts and like please help us. And we knew the premise, but we didn't fully understand like the plan yet. And so I'm gonna go. Wait, Nick, can I curse like just this one time?
Well, sure, go ahead. Tonight's
Okay.
the night.
Okay, so this is not what my boss said, but this is how I remember it. So that's what's truth in my mind. So I go to her and I'm like, hey, like we have this idea for a video. Can we do like a limited time 10% off for Will's Dart? Because we ordered pretty heavy on it, and we just want to make sure we can at least sell the steel tip. And this is how I remember it went. She just goes, fuck it, let's do 25%. And I'm like, okay, let's do 25%. That's so much. Are you sure? And she's like, yeah. So then my general manager, Tori, the heiress, as we call her, she's like, what's that old video about the dogs? And I look at my video editor guy. My video editor guy and I lock eyes. And I'm like, Sarah McLachlan. And he's like, In the Arms of an Angel. And I'm like, we're doing it. We're doing it. And so he and I, the creative process, you guys, is a lot of just looking at someone and being like, do you want to do this really stupid idea? And I can already visualize from start to end exactly how it's going to go. And so we had a moment like that, and it was beautiful. And I went around the warehouse and I stopped 5 full-grown adults from what they were doing, which was really important stuff. And we pulled that video together in a half day. I had 2 illustrators, I had a video editor, my general manager and CEO, and myself, and our digital marketing manager were all involved, and we all pulled it together. And so Heather, our Facebook girly who has been roasting Will on these memes, it's not even me, you guys.
Oh, yeah,
it's
it's
Heather.
brutal. It's Heather.
And she's the sweetest, like most docile, like just sweetheart. And you would, it's so cutthroat, her memes. But anyway, she writes a version of the script and I write a version of the script because we're going line by line. That Sarah McLachlan animal rescue video, we all watch it. And this is going to sound really messed up, but we're dying laughing watching this video, this old school commercial. And it's like sad. It's like animals that are like near death. And we're just crying laughing because we know we can visualize what is the Will component that we're going to like compare it to.
I love every bit of that.
Okay, so Heather's script is amazing. And I think I only used 25% of my script. So I used most of her lines. And then it was Tommy's idea. He's like, what if you whipped around and you were like, hi, I'm Jen Mounts instead of Sarah McLachlan? And then everyone just had these amazing ideas. And Will was a great sport. And he sent in photos of himself being like, just like distraught, under emotional duress. 2 graphic designers we whip up. I'm like, I need a thumbnail. I want him everywhere. And so it kind of the marketing imagery pulled together. We did the Help Will Foundation for 25% off. I drove home, got my piano, drove back to work, looked up the song. I didn't know the lyrics to the song. I did not know this at all. And I spent 30 minutes probably just on that one opening scene just to be able to fake it, really, because I'm looking down. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but I'm looking at the lyrics to be able to mouth like that opening scene, and then we play it on and continue singing. And it's hilarious because I I sent my video editor and digital marketer downstairs so that I could record the lyrics, like the singing part, thinking like, oh, I don't want them to cringe as I record that because it'll probably take me 2 or 3 takes because I don't know this song. And I'm like listening to Sarah McLachlan do it and like do my version. And then like so I film and then they come back upstairs and they're like, hey Jen, I gotta tell you something. And I'm like, what? They're like, we could hear you singing the whole time from downstairs. So so the whole thing was just so funny. And we were getting all of our little scenes. And if for anyone who hasn't watched the video, it's so funny.
Do you have a link?
Go watch
I was trying to look for it in the background.
Yeah.
As Jason Watt perfectly describes what has been happening, by the way, which is Nick's acting like he's married to Jen, working in the background, not listening to a thing while we're paying attention to you, Jen. I was listening, and then, but yeah, I was mostly trying to fix up with the play.
Okay.
Back to the match. Look at this. We should be good to go.
Great. Perfect timing.
Incredible. And then that's a link in chat to the In the Arms of an Angel Will Stewart dart sale video in chat. So enjoy that gem, guys. And appreciate each and every one of you guys. And again, obviously not ideal. Funnily enough, looking at the viewer count, we actually lost less viewers by us just talking / some Jen's Mount story time than if we went to an ad break. So look at that proportionally. And no matter what, you guys can't tell if we're an ad break or not because it's Jen Mounts anyways. Trick's on you.
Well, they're back at it like nothing happened. I'm impressed. It's a really difficult thing to overcome. A couple of 3-mark rounds, but at least we're not missing left and right. I think we're going to see those averages peak up here in just a minute.
Yeah, they're going to take a little bit to get settled back in. It's also a little awkward timing because normally they would break after leg 7, so this is leg 4. So they have 3 legs before the scheduled break of the match. Just given the scenario tonight, we'll give the players the option if they want to have that break or maybe push it down a little bit just because of the extended break that they just had. But so far, early signs of the match show that it's competitive, which is exactly what we were kind of expecting. It's going to be up to Brett staying razor sharp on his mental, Bobby staying settled. I know if I'm in Bobby's shoes, I'm thinking, man, this is a nightmare. I don't want this to happen to my opponent. I know I would be mad, and I know it's on my end. What can I do? And like, he's a really nice guy in that regard. So you have to kind of just not let your thoughts eat at you. The moment's pass, and as long as it doesn't happen, you just keep rocking it out. Brett, on the other hand, needs to just there's one or two ways you react to it if you're Brett. You're either indifferent, and that's probably the best possible way is, okay, I don't care, it happens. Time to just reset and go. Or 2, use as motivation. Be like, yeah, the Dark Gods don't want me to play. Well, I'm going to play anyways. And like use a little bit of spitefulness as a trick.
It really depends on your personality. I think if I assign positive or negative emotion to like what's going on, that's going to affect me in a negative way. It's kind of weird. It's like I don't psych myself up ever because it gives something to compare to. I'm like, ooh, I just had a 9-mark round. Like, heck yeah, that's awesome. But can I keep it up? Like, I have those kind of intrusive thoughts. So I like to go with the style of detached, emotionless concentration. I'm indifferent, like you said. I'm merely a third-party objective observing what's happening.
We really are married, emotionless and indifferent.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Jason Watt nailed it. No, you're spot on though, Jen. As Brett is looking like he's taking that darts and showing a little bit of energy with it. You can tell. I just think his demeanor, the way he's walking back, he's obviously the situation kind of. I don't want to say even bothered him, but I definitely think he has a certain level of focus and determination of like, I want to win because this happens. And the last thing you want is to have an extra reason to win if you're the opponent.
Yeah, he's definitely psyched up. You can just kind of see it in his body language. He's got a little bit more energy he carries around. He's definitely not that mindful Buddhist kind of style like some people try. I mean, I have to be a robot. That's the only way I can be successful. I'm like a nervous little robot half the time, and other times I can conquer those nerves. Other people, they can come in and they can think, I belong. I should be here. This is my game. They can talk themselves into just being great. And I really don't even think of it as arrogance. They genuinely like can use anything to pump themselves up. So it's everyone has their own style. It's really cool. I've even dabbled with thinking about an alter ego, but I'm glad I decided against it because it's the best thing to be is just yourself.
Yeah, very true there. And it will feel the most comfortable and natural. And that's the whole point of darts is feeling comfortable and natural under high pressure scenarios, which is what Brett's doing right now. The anticipation of being down a leg, getting your throw broken after a 20 rounder, and then having an extended technical break to be able to go in and throw a 5, you're going to be feeling really good right now. That's giving some confidence of I am him energy.
Boom goes the dynamite for Mr. Bob. That's 2 for him, I believe, for this match.
His third, actually.
Oh gosh, I missed one. My fault. I'm trying to keep track as well.
You know what though? You know what? You're doing better. I don't think I've ever seen Will or Sean write down any stat. That's not true. But I'm going to say that anyways.
I'm not the best statistician, but I'm a statistician at the very least. So I'm working with you on this one, Nick.
Do you see a couple of great comments as Brett Hollinday is going to more likely walk past the finish line here to make this 2 apiece in this matchup. Needs to grab this last bowl.
Okay. Reset. Oh, gosh, a little high. I think I saw a little hop skip in that last throw.
Yeah, and it one hole out, decent follow. He even misses good, so he's going to be feeling just fine overall. But we saw a couple of great comments I wanted to highlight in here. We got Kobe Too Young, Chrisman, which we just saw his Oklahoma Throwdown video go out on USA Darts. So great to see him back there. He played Ram Guevara in that final. You can see Brett Hollinday does go ahead and make this a 2-2 with a 4.54 to the 4.27 of Bobby. I also got called Papa Smurf once, so that was really cool. Thank you, Jason Watt. During the break that we were talking, Ram told me to shut up. Thanks, Ram.
You weren't even talking.
Yeah, but
That's so funny. Ram, you're so funny.
Don't encourage him. And then what else? We got Jin F-bomb mounts. The whole reason I told you it was okay, by the way, I have no idea PPD is cool with that. But I do know for a fact that now I'm not the only person to drop an F-bomb on the show. I needed someone else to do it.
I had to. It's not even true, but in my mind, I that's how I remember it. And she was probably just like very indifferent, like, you know what? We can just go 25%. Like it was something lame like that, but in my head, it's hilarious.
You're hearing boom. Oh man. We also got Jason Kenny bringing up Monday night. No Danny Baggish 5 9s in a row from Monday, but still very nice. Yeah, incredible stuff we saw Monday. Some highs, some lows. But Don Stewart getting that win. How about that? Good for him to get his first top 3 entry into the CSC after making a couple stabs. And when you start off your season beating Leonard Gates, it's usually a sign for a good season.
It's just tough. I hate to see those slips perfectly left. Like Brett virtually always consistently misses in the trouble bed to the left. And I really believe, although it's, a beautiful white horse from Mr. Bobby Dees. You can do better than that, Nick. Come on now.
Okay, do you have a better horse noise?
No, I don't. Turns out I don't. It's so bad. It's so bad. Don't fire me. I have more stories, I swear.
I guarantee you, it's not going to be me making the decision. We're both fired, buddy. It's game over for us.
Yeah. Hey, we'll take the shit down together.
Oh. Yeah, right now, other than that very long 20-round leg where it's down to the wire, it's really been one-way traffic. Leg after leg, one person gets hot, rolls through, other person gets hot, rolls through. We're going to have to see. Eventually, that rhythm's going to have to break, or unless they want to go all the way to a last leg decider, which at this point, might as well.
I can see someone really running away with the match. Like you said, no one's really found their groove yet. They're taking turns having on and off legs. So we haven't quite seen that competitiveness that we hope to see, but an early lead is always great in such a long run.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and we've noticed, and the Will Stewart effect says that the legs right before the break and the 2 after, 7, 8, and 9. That's where we see the biggest differences in matches of the CSC this season. We'll have to see what ends up happening here, because of course, if these guys can keep it in that 4-3 range, a one leg difference, they're going to be pretty happy either way. But 8 and 9, it's about coming out of that break nice and hot.
Seeing kind of a trend here, Brett, with another chance to steamroll through this leg without having that immediate slowing down of going second and pointing strong. It's really, really tough, especially in soft tip. I worry for people that have a slow start immediately. It's you have to come in. It's dangerous. I'm thinking you have to at least open 5 mark, 7 mark ideally. It's so tough. The competitiveness, the standard of play is so high now. I'm really impressed to see where Division 2 has come since you all started.
Yeah, the Division 2 has really been such an interesting study case of, and I classify it as the journeyman pros, the guys that can absolutely win brackets and win tournaments, but they're not expected to win every tournament that they play a bracket of. And I it's so cool to see, because season 1, I remember it wasn't uncommon to have both players average at a 3.9, 3.8 for the match. Now, if you do average under a 4.5 after week 1, you are done. You are knocked out.
Evening/afternoon to our UK folks for joining the chat. We do have a couple questions because of the technical break where we reset the leg, Nick. Is there going to be a standard match break still?
The players have the option. They're going to get the message right now once this leg ends. So they'll have the option, as long as they both agree to skip the break, then they will skip it. If they otherwise, the break will just play as normal.
Makes sense. Brett forcing that 15 closed, even trying to go for a quick bowl, decides to point last dart. So that's in a wonderful spot. We do now have winning darts in hand for Bobby. And we had a question about tournament favorite here, or match favorite. So both Nick and I chose Brett as a previous CSC Division 2 champion to be the favorite tonight. However, with the technical slowdown early on in this match, perhaps that's thrown him a little bit on tilt. I don't think it's affecting his performance terribly. As you can see, he's been in control off and on either leg, so they're just chasing each other at this point. But it's really going to be who's gonna break throw and get a 2 or 3 leg commanding lead. I think is going to be the deciding factor a little later on.
And Troy Leroy, he's our New Zealand friend. This is the girl from the breaks that you see all the time, Troy. We have her here. The talented Jen Mounts, the creativest of directors, the business of monsters, the bane of many existence on the dartboard nowadays that she's back to playing. I was running out of things I could think of immediately.
I thought you were going to say the bane of my existence.
I started going there. I was like, that's not true.
Yeah. Oh, I'd believe it. But we are hoping to show a few more faces, like especially on the A to Z front. I hope you guys can see we're growing our team. We often get those questions like where's the girl? But there's a lot of new faces, new people joining the team. So I'm excited for that. Brett gets the job done. 5th leg going to Mr. Hollinday. We're tied up 3-3.
Yeah.
And so, I believe it's Bobby to go first.
Correct.
So he's still the competitive advantage here.
It looks like they're just quickly answering that player chat because they're debating if they want to play through or not. So that's what that quick pause was there. But yeah, Bobby's going to get the start here. This is important. Like, you want to hold your throat because you want that advantage going into the break. If there is the break, they're currently working that one out. But typically, this is a very important leg in the matchup. So they're going to take an abbreviated break is what it sounds like they're doing. Just a quick refill the drinks and
boom goes the dynamite for Bobby Dees Jr. Sorry to cut you off, Nick. I
knew you had that one primed and ready.
No, I'm kidding.
You're not wrong. That is literally what I do. I've lost count of who has who on 9 marks, by the way. So I've given up on that stat line.
It's 6-5, I believe. Brett with 6 under his belt. Bob with 5 now.
Well, there we go. See, this is why it's so nice to have a true professional in the booth with me. Ed Garcia saying Spanish commentating. We've talked about time and time again about doing a dub channel or.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Yo soy Jen Mounts.
Donde está la biblioteca?
We don't have a library in this town anymore.
El perro es gran. That's the best I got. I really just can quote Bob's Burgers.
That was you know what? More than I think was expected of you as Brett Hollinday.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Look at that. You're getting it. You are crushing the boom game. You guys, I hope you guys have been enjoying our very let's just call it as it is. This has been our scuffed coverage of the night where we're having some fun. The match is fully going. Thankfully there hasn't been really any issues.
Sorry, Nick, I'll let you get the next one. I'm hogging them all.
All right, yeah, I'm going to get it primed up and ready. Hold on. All right. In the mind of Sean, I am the green. Okay, I'm ready.
I don't think you're going to have one this leg. It's going to definitely be next leg.
Watch this. Incoming 3 in the bed on the 16th. Brett Hollinday. I'll put $1 on it.
Wow, an untimely miss on the 16 close. But Brett very well may have a chance he can close that 18.
I was cheering so hard for the 3 in the bed on the 16 for the boom I set up.
No, I knew he wanted to close that 18, so he has a chance, just a chance. Nah, Bobby's not going to let him. Already with the point, brilliant point lead there. A very clutch round.
Boom, la dinamita explota. Thanks, chat. You guys are awesome.
Amazing.
Well, this is a little scrappy here towards the end of the leg, but Bobby, firm control, should be able to just clean up these 3 bowls. Not scrappy for him, averaging over a 5 and holding his throw. And they're going to take just a brief 2-minute break here. So we're just going to go ahead and quickly take a break here from Nick and Jen to listen to Jen. And we'll be back in just a moment's time with more great coverage here of Bobby Dees Jr., Brett Hollinday. Literally 2-minute break. They're just going to go ahead and get some refreshments. Jen, this has been exciting. We'll be right back, right? Are you ready? You ready for this? Ready for all the fun?
I suppose I'll come back. That's
all
fine.
right.
I'll stay.
Here we go. We'll be right back, guys.
Chivalry isn't dead, not with the new Future Knights shot launch. Featuring 4 distinct barrel designs and the new shot airfoil 2-piece molded flights in a futuristic medieval theme you can't miss out on. Iron Soul, a classic silver barrel with alternating reverse cuts all along the silhouette for the budget-conscious looking for more grip. Dreadheart, dressed in a striking red coating, the subtle scallop notch is perfect for middle grippers looking for aggression all throughout. Hatchet, its milling is dipped in an honorable gold fitted for a king with a unique taper and milling pattern unlike any other. Dark Star, the gold and royal blue immediately catch the eye while the diamond-shaped grip patterns in the middle provide an aggressive grip. Airfoil, SHOT's latest innovation on 2-piece molded flights, reinforced with integrated vanes for better durability and compatible with any 4-prong nylon shaft. Rise to honor and shop the Future Knights shot launch, available now at a2zdarts.com.
Let me tell you about A to Z Darts. We're a specialty dart store with over 10,000 different products. We create in-depth videos and blogs to help improve your game and showcase our products. We give helpful advice on how to practice darts, the fundamentals of form and mechanics, and how to make better decisions when purchasing your darting equipment. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned player, we try to provide fun and informative content. I'm Jen, the creative director for A to Z Darts. I've been playing for over 10 years, and I've traveled the world competing in and promoting the sport. This is Will. He runs our live streaming company, USA Darts, and travels the globe as well to broadcast major darting events and interview PDC players alike. You'll find over 2,000 different sets of darts on our website. Guessing right now you're pretty interested in our resources? Learn about form, throwing mechanics, practice routines, scoring and grouping, checkout methods, cricket strategy, and much more. Visit a-zdarts.com to take advantage of our blog or follow us on social media at azdarts today.
What are O-rings? Meet these little guys. O-rings are small rubber rings that you can place on your shaft thread so it won't come loose. Here are 4 easy methods to put on an O-ring. The tuck and roll. Hold your O-ring against the thread and with your fingers stretch it over the shaft. Simply roll it down and it's on. The knit and roll. In a similar fashion, use the point of a dart to stretch the O-ring over the threads like this and roll it down. The backslide. Place the O-ring over the back of the shaft and roll it down the entire length until it sits at the base. If the previous methods are too hard, you'll love the O-ring applicator tool. Fit the O-ring onto the top like so, then place the tool over the shaft and roll it down like you see here. This is hands down the simplest method and the one we recommend most. A fun alternative is L-Style's Gomu system. Put the small cap on your shaft and that's it. It's fast and easy, but each cap is one-time use, whereas O-rings are reusable and only $2 a pack. Secure your shafts today.
In this video, I'll be going head-to-head against the entire staff in a thrilling best-of-3 match. But with a twist, we'll be relying on the Omni auto scoring system to keep track of the scores. How accurate is this thing? We threw nearly 1,000 darts to put the Omni cameras to the test. All right, double 4, here we go. No! Miles away. So far off. The Omni cameras are detecting exactly where the dart is landing on the board with instant recognition.
Hey, thanks for letting me win the last one.
You unleashed the beast. Of course, Nate, the experienced player, is not going down without a fight as he lands a precision double 7.
Yes, game shot and the match.
That's cool.
The score is being calculated for you in real time, plus the element of the darts caller from the app. They work together to provide such an elevated play experience.
Test telephone switch to arm light on.
Sorry to cut off our rocket launch a little short here. We're back to the match. We're back to the action. I'm Nick Teixeira, joined by Jen F-Bomb Mounts. And Jen,
Don't you dare!
I'm just the man of the people, Jen. I said tell them as it is.
If anyone's going to break the rules, I think they'll be the most forgiving if it's me. So I think that's where the comfort came from the F-bomb.
Well, in either case, I did it first, so don't infringe on my copyright ever again. No, it's an absolute pleasure to have you guys here, still tuning in with us, having some great time watching some great darts. Brett Hollinday, Bobby Dees, not much separating the two right now. They are both staying in that average range, both hovering right around that 4-5. It's some great stuff between them. Jen, I mean, we're kind of in for a distance matchup here potentially. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right in that we might face a deciding leg here in this match. I mean, funny enough, the closest, most competitive match was that round out where it was just a point battle. Otherwise, so far the storyline has been someone is kind of dominating the leg. So I'm hoping to see a little bit more of a competitive strategy and result here, which we might see in this leg right now.
Yeah, and just taking a look at the averages a little bit more in depth here. Again, leg number 1 was won by Brett with a 5.86, our highest individual average of tonight. Really breaking the throw of Bobby early. Bobby takes 2 off the spin there. We have the technical pause, then it alternates Brett, then Bobby, second highest average tonight, 5.79, and then Brett at a 4.5, Bobby at a 5.0, Bobby at the break, setting at a 4.6, Brett at a 4.47.
And a boom goes the dynamite for Bobby Dees in a critical time to point ahead and close. I would like to see a bit more of a point lead for him to have that cushion, but it worked brilliantly as Brett was shaken by that, not able to open up a new house for himself. Wow.
Asset 150 on YouTube saying, my 10 kids were huddled around my iPad watching the match, and now we got Jen Mounts dropping the F-bomb. Thanks, Jen.
Oh no, don't tell me that. Oh goodness. Kids watch this show. Nobody told me that.
Well, I mean, yeah, but usually they're Sean Green students. Finn, where you at tonight in chat? Where you at? Here we go. A little bit of control trying to get back from Brett. He does not want this to go to a 5-3. And right now, Bobby doing a lot of stuff right against the darts. Brett won't have a shot to get the point lead and close both numbers, so he's going to be relegated to playing some defense on the 15s.
A well-timed 7 mark, but I don't think that's going to be enough because now with that single mark, either Bobby's going to maybe go 1 point, 2 single 15s to play it safe. There it goes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like to stay there. So here's the thing. If he hits the... Oh, and I don't like that last dart either. I like the second dart
maybe
staying.
A frustrated dart. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If he trips that first 17 and then he only hits 2 15s, it gives Brett an opportunity to be able to close the numbers while keeping it 4-3 on the bulls. Instead, what ended up happening was he wasn't able to close the 15 and only hit the trip. Brett had an opportunity and almost took out all the numbers and completely flipped this leg. Now we got a very interesting race to the bulls.
I don't know. I think I would have forced the bull race, just knowing it's soft tip, hat trick all day. These guys are skilled enough to be able to do it, and Bobby has that lead with the 4-3 lead. And I think it would have rattled Brett, who might be a little bit more of a temperamental player and would perhaps react poorly to it. I'm not sure there, but either way, Bobby, regardless, still had decent strategy. Well, now it's a little scarier. I think this situation's more pressured than the classic bull race for Bobby, but I can see him pulling off the hat regardless.
And Bobby should be able to clean things up here. The first start looked like it actually was at the 16. Yeah, so he took a couple extra stabs there. He mathematically guaranteed that there's no shot here for Brett. Brett needs to hit 5 bulls now, or 6 bulls now, or no, 5 bulls now to be able to get back into that distance. He hits 3 along the way. Sorry, 3 bulls needed. My math is
6
off
bulls.
tonight.
It was 6 total prior, but now 3.
So Bobby should be able to cross this line still. We'll see what he ends up doing. You don't want to be too conservative on your bulls when you're at this level. You need to kind of just give yourself the confidence. Great last start, though.
Yeah, I will say I'm shocked, though. I really felt like at this skill level, they're very, very confident in their ability to hit bulls. So I guess perhaps I need to watch a lot more Division 2 because they're playing a lot safer game than I would expect.
I mean,
wow.
I think we've just seen so many big shots and comebacks on bulls lately. I think a lot of players are a little adverse to it. And also on top of that, Bobby wants to be up 5-3 because that is like a little bit of a game changer in a match. That first break and throw from Brett effectively doesn't do too much. They've been saying chalk otherwise. This is where it starts to really matter.
Wow. Way to hang in there, though. Bobby really, really surviving when it matters. He's just not able to be cutthroat on closing out the game just yet, but this might be the cushion he finally needs.
Yeah, Bobby's done whatever it takes to stay exactly out of shot range by just enough points. It's incredible stuff from Bobby. He's bouncing good defense, but should cross the finish line like you called there, Jen. That's going to be a 5-3 lead for Bobby.
Yeah, you're right. Perhaps playing it safe, and that's almost even more mentally damaging to your opponent, that they fought so hard to just get so close to potentially stealing that leg from under you, but you hold it anyway. So he really dragged that out, probably feeling very confident now coming in with that 5-3 lead.
Yeah, the only mistake there from Bobby was I don't like that last start shot that he took at the 15s earlier, because if Brett trips that 16 in the last start, he wins the leg just by how many 16s Bobby had to hit in that ending battle there. But overall, very interesting dichotomy there. Great play overall from both these players. Brett had not get enough credit for how resilient he was on those bulls despite the circumstance as well.
And end on the devil's number from the chat was a 666 scoreline. Yeah, for points.
A little spoopy. Sean always calls out whenever he sees that number on the board.
Yeah.
Sean, you think Sean's on another plane now?
Crash landing another plane? I doubt it. There's no way there'll be 2 in a row.
At that point, it is his fault, right? Like if it's 2 in a row.
Yeah, he's guilty by association. It's probably, if he's in the same row as that guy, where were you? Why weren't you watching for the fire? What's going on there?
I do feel like we're going to get a phone call from Sean saying, why am I on a TSA watch list now? You're welcome, Sean. Larry's saying, can I vote for Jen in every week? You can vote for it. She's too busy for
guys,
us.
It's not that. It's not that. I think what it is because I'm Pacific Standard Time. It's like that's my din time with my wife, and I think really ultimately that's what prevented me from taking the gig in the first place. But it's a good thing I did, because then the second choice went to Will originally. A lot of people don't know that, but he was the second choice there.
That is actually very true, because I didn't meet Will yet. I've never met him at that point. I called you. I was like, Jen, I got this cool thing that hopped on my desk. Look at this file. And you're like, I don't look at files. I'm too busy. And then you said, but I got this guy that we pay to look at these things. And then you brought Will in.
No, it was a true blessing in disguise. I'm so glad that he was able to make time to join and then developing that camaraderie with Sean. They are the ultimate dynamic duo. And I know we joke that
Besides
we're
us.
the A team, but I'll accept my place as B team. However, I do think we handle the technical issues better than Mr. Will Stewart. So I got that's one little strike on our favor.
No, they do great. The CSC, ironically enough, for our careers in the darts team, for everybody involved between Sean, Will, you, and me, has had so much of an impact on our lives. Because otherwise, that's
Yeah.
how I started working in an official capacity with you guys. That's how Sean and Will met.
Yeah.
We have nothing but eternal gratitude to the PPD for giving us this opportunity, because it changed all of our lives.
You know what's sad is I don't exactly remember who referred Will to me. I think it was someone from the CSC, I think, and I got his number and we just chatted on the phone for like 2 hours and we just hit it off. And it's kind of just one of those. You ever just meet someone, you're like, oh, we're just we're in the same headspace, for the same age, we have the same outlook and perspective and passion for the sport, and it's just been easy ever since. Like, I mean, being able to progress and get to where we are has been amazing. And really just the challenging thing is keeping up with the demand that the darts world puts on us. An excellent win there.
It's a great problem to have. And Brett, excellent win indeed. 6.0, highest leg win of the night. But the problem is that Bobby got that little bit of extra separation now. It changes things a little bit here, where they can't just trade back and forth like earlier. Bobby's broken the throw twice to Brett only breaking it once at the very, very beginning.
Right.
Troy Leroy saying, mate is little boom man. That's me, by the way, Jen. By the way, boom goes La Biblioteca. Nope, that's not it. We got a 9 mark
so
there
close.
from Bobby Dees.
So great. It's boom, la dinamita explota.
That's what I was going for. Troy
It's
Leroy
probably
saying,
more like boom, but yeah.
oh, yeah, okay, like really sell it. All right,
Yeah.
I'll try again next time. I've already messed up
Yeah.
once. Mate is Little Boom Man. That's me, not a full-time comm on the streams. So if you guys are curious about a little bit about how that works, is that Sean and Will, we just let them vibe. I'm in the background. I'm usually making fun or prodding the conversation occasionally. But otherwise, the idea is that they can fully focus. When you guys hear us, whether it's me at a bullshooter stop or another USA Dart stop, or Will at a USA Dart stop, we're usually also doing production. And so it's really hard to have the same level of focus on the comms and the game and the chat as we do when we're also worried about the controls itself. So that's the idea. Yeah. I fill in when one of them can't make it by default because I'm already here, and when both can't make it, we get the true A team.
I actually feel like comms is one of the most difficult to be multitasking. It's so I hate when I am going off on a tangent. I'm not focusing on the end of a match. So that's one of the hardest things to prevent yourself from doing. But getting into a banter sometimes just a little too juicy to break away.
Well, there's some really great banters that have happened on this show. As look at that, Bobby wide open there after the 2 mark. Leaves Brett with a great opportunity. He has 2 numbers, but down in points. I want to see him play the 20 a little aggressive on the shot. He needed that second trip to go and get that point lead.
Yeah. There he goes. This is that competitive leg that I've been waiting for, though. I think this is where things are going to start to get interesting in the second half of this match.
And look, another off turn there from Bobby. It is getting interesting because it's also a little bit of fatigue. I mean, these guys are already an hour and 20 minutes into this match with they obviously had some tech breaks and everything earlier on, but that doesn't feel like a real break. And then the real break, I'm sure they were focused on, okay, quick, get aiming fluid, quick, release prior aiming fluid. I don't know how to word that better. Restroom break would probably be the better way to word that. And so I definitely think there's going to be some fatigue factors potentially coming into play here.
Brett's feeling himself. I think he a little bit of a. Did you see him cheer himself on in the background? It was adorable. Anyway, to drop darts at the line, that's something that he took a huge deep breath, nailed that trip 18. I feel like his mentality is starting to shift here. I think they've forgotten about the slow start already, and I don't know if the fatigue is going to affect them for too much longer, especially not Brett.
Yeah, we'll end up seeing how it goes because Brett, he needs to make up the distance. And getting this leg, all is forgiven. But he really wants to try to go ahead and get 2 breaks on Bobby, right? He wants to have control of the match. You want to be the first one at match point. That's the biggest thing. Being down 8-7 is a death sentence because that is the most pressure you'll feel. I think you'll feel more pressure at 8-7 than you do at 8-8 personally, because you just think about extra work. You have to win the leg. Then you're thinking about the diddle. Then you're thinking about crossing the finish line. So if you get yourself to 8-7, then 8-8 feels easier because you think, okay, I already just blew one chance at match point. Might as well get another.
Brett is having a great time. I'm loving watching him. He's giving himself a little fist pumpy after the throw, going back, chilling with his crew there. I genuinely, I was just gonna, I wish I could conduct myself in that way, but I can't celebrate while I'm playing.
Oh yeah, no, you're full chalant and he's none of the chalant, for sure. But no, to be fair, different styles for different people, and I think that having the crowd there, having everyone support him, I think that if I'm not mistaken, it looks like Corey Beck back there, as well, supporting him and a few other friends. It goes a long way, and they usually have a great vibe there. They make the apple pie shots that they have there, apparently that they're famous for, as you do see Brett get that win. And we've seen signs, we've seen a pony, like a pony on a stick. So not like a real pony. That'd be crazy. And Brett, by the way, takes the average lead back after that. Is now at a 4.66 to Bobby's 4.57 after 10 legs, and gets a second break of the throw tonight. So now they're back to even.
I like that Bobby takes the moment to compose himself, and it was worth it with a beautiful last.
Jen, do you want to know how to get involved in the Partners Playing Darts program?
Boy, do I.
Oh, look at that. That was great. Well, I don't have the script from Sean, but if you guys want to get involved, go over to dartstoc.com. From there, you can go to the Where Can I Play section of the website. It actually has the PPD grid of all the different boards available in your area, and you can find out where you can go start playing darts. You have DRT's leagues every night of the week. DRT's just got relaunched using the new Tournament King brackets, so now you can play DRT's anywhere, even outside of a PPD vendor. So really cool stuff there in that regard. If you want to qualify for something such as the CSC Challenger Series, it can be as little as 1 league a week, plus a little bit extra, to be able to qualify for something like this, as we do get a beautiful 9 mark there from Brett Hollinday. If you guys want to hear a better version of that script, tune back into any time Sean's here.
I think I have an old script from the last time I was on. I could try to dig up, but you
have
did
the
brilliantly,
script?
Nick.
Do you have the script? Really?
I could dig it up, but I think I think you nailed it.
That's yeah. We got the gist. Dartstoc.com.
Yeah.
Gary Whitlock saying they are amazing people there. And yes, that's Corey, also a great guy, and his family. That bar is the best place in Proctor, Minnesota. And let me tell you, there's a lot of great things in Proctor, Minnesota. I'm sure. No, Legends
There's
Bar
a
is
lot
great.
of great darts in Minnesota, and the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin. That area is killer for darts.
It's a total hotbed when you look at that area of talented shooters. I mean, how many times have we seen Rick and Tyler Hensey go on their runs, Ken Rip City Rip, and those guys. Minnesota in general, I think, is probably one of the more underrated dart states because they have a lot of great talents. I think Corey Beck is doing some great stuff. Kevin Beck as well. Gina has also done great cashing in a lot of these PPD events as of late. So I definitely think Minnesota a little underrated as far as for the cold states in darts. Here you go. Troy Leroy actually did the ad read for us in the chat.
Amazing.
It doesn't take much either, mate. Just 1 league at the pub a week is all needed to be eligible. If you get too many pints and want to play plastic, even DRTs help you maintain eligibility. Yep. That's it.
You're hired.
Oh, Brett at 6.4. He's looking prime and definitely heating up. Bobby hasn't cooled off. He's at a 5 right here, but the timing from Brett is what's been so crucial in his game. We talked about it earlier, but he has a very high floor. He doesn't really have too many really off rounds. And when he does, it's usually not back to back. He's showing that right here.
You know, you're in a great position when it requires 7 mark or higher just for your opponent to get ahead in the point lead. So I think Brett's going to go for the close here, and he does. Oh, just a miss outside. That would have really, really put him in a nice advantage.
Well, and going off the Will Stewart rule, 7 and 8 went towards Bobby, but Brett took 9. And right now, looking like he could potentially go 3 on the spin if he maintains control. Bobby doing a great job fighting in this leg, and really taking advantage of that going first, which is why even though it's almost a it's a 0.62 difference in NPR, he's doing a good job of staying ahead. And Brett,
wow,
hitting lethal darts.
That surprised me. That was cold stone. I was not expecting that close.
Full Steve Austin.
Full Steve Austin. Hey, it worked. It worked. That was risky, but only a 5 mark from Bobby. So Brett's in a great position having the 19 still in his possession.
Now, this is where Brett really does want to be careful, though, because I don't want to if my opponent's on 16, I'm on 19s, I don't want to let them have a free shot. It's exactly kind of what he was thinking there. I think that last there was probably a little too much extra. You probably could have definitely taken a swing at the 16 or 15 in the last, but overall, that's great because you don't want to have a situation where Bobby takes your number and you have to hit a 6 mark, like he shoots a close from behind and you have to hit a trip 15, trip 16 scenario.
I agree. Sometimes you can't help it though. If he probably felt great, like that third one was gonna be a 3 in the bed, and he was just outside, might even deflected outside. So I don't blame him there. My wife came up with a metaphor that it's kind of like the last cookie. It's like you don't need to eat it, but it's like it's the last one. You might as well just go for it. I'm like, I don't know if that is always applicable.
I do that, but with entire sleeves of Oreos. Like, so I'm like, oh, it's last sleeve. I got to eat the entire last sleeve of Oreos. That makes sense. I mean, who else is they're mega stuff, and I need to be mega stuff in my face with them. So I get
There's a mega stuffed? Hold on a second.
They keep evolving. Jen is actually Googling mega stuffed Oreos right now.
Son of a gun. There's a mega stuffed Oreo. Brilliant marketing.
I do appreciate that you thought for a second, man, maybe is Nick's making up the craziest promotion right now for Oreo. As Bobby.
Hey, I don't trust anyone.
You don't trust it. That's also fair. Especially not Discord. No, finds a 6 mark from the 15s. Can Brett continue to push away? Yeah, he does. He's playing. His timing's so good.
Boom goes the dynamite for Brett Hollinday. Happy holidays, Brett Hollinday. You're killing it, man. Well, it's
delivering
April,
presents.
You get what I mean.
I was going to roll with that. I was going to call you out on that one. That was great.
Delivering presents.
This is a phenomenal response. And Bobby, again, 5.23 in a elongated 1,000-point-ish leg is great, but Brett just was too much to handle in this one and does get it sealed away for a 6-5 lead.
I'm so happy to see them coming alive after we're an hour and a half in. There's still potentially potentially 5 legs. No, 4 legs remaining. I mean, they're still going for this crazy monster point chase, point battle. Kudos to them because that's a lot of stamina to be performing that well this far in and this long of a time, this much time passing.
Yeah, no, I agree that they're doing everything right. Statistically, they're both improved after the break. At halftime, Bobby is at a 4.6, has brought it up to a 4.63. Brett was at a 4.47, has brought it up to a 4.75. So a 0.3 improvement in his average just in the last 3 legs. And this is his first time leading since 1-0 at the start of the match. And this is a good time to really find your stride.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they're opening strong. I'm looking forward to our remaining legs here. Oh gosh, this is going to be a crazy battle for 2019s. By the way, I love that we're still talking about Oreos in the chat. There's Oreos loaded with Oreo crumbles in the cream. Oh gosh, you guys are killing me. My Oreo knowledge is so bad.
You're not allowed to do that. It's like putting a grilled chicken in an omelet. It feels wrong.
Sure enough, that's a thing. I didn't know.
Grilled chicken and an omelet? It feels weird. Like that's 2 generations.
How's your 100 long list of movies coming along, Nick. Have you put a
You had
dent
to
in that
remind
at all?
chat. No, not really. We got. I'm surprised I didn't have movie night with Will while I was at his house, but we had so many other shenanigans that we really just we spent too long gossiping and playing games together that by the time we were like, oh, it's our bedtime. But yeah, let me tell you, I'll post the link in chat for you guys.
Boom
We
goes
actually
the dynamite.
you're crushing it.
1080 for Bobby Dees Jr. I'm losing my count as well. Troy's on our case.
Troy is giving us a hard time. I love it. Troy Leroy saying he's going to be every Tuesday and Thursday. By the way, that's New Zealand time for the record. Everyone else, come here Monday and Wednesday, please.
That's true. Troy, here's the thing. We're the B team, and
we know it.
Doing the stuff, I'm just so excited that I even say a boom right, let alone putting down the tally. It's a difficult job.
If you guys, and to be fair, we are actually still surprisingly tracking the rest of the stats. As I see, even did Will just click the sheet? Yeah, Will's in here. What is he doing? Get out of there, Google Sheets, Will. Anyways, if you guys see that link in the chat that just got posted, that's all the movies I haven't seen. So you guys can stop asking what I haven't seen. That's the running list of every movie, including most suggested movies, the average year of movie release, and everything else. 240 total movies suggested. I've seen 59 of them. So you're welcome, chat.
Wow. 59 of them.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Room?
No.
So you haven't seen The Disaster Artist either. We'll do that together.
I have seen that one, funnily enough.
What? You have to see The Room first, Nick. What? This is chaos. This is anarchy.
This is the line where it's chaos tonight. Out of everything that has happened, that's the line for chaos.
Yeah. I'm a persnickety person. What can I say?
Tim Goodwin says, "Thanks so long to look though. Just keep asking." Brett has a little bit of a slowdown here. It's 5.71 plays to 5.57. Bobby has a chance. 2 numbers versus 2 numbers. This is the exact kind of game state I love playing in because it's so easy to force mistakes from your opponent when it's something like this is happening.
It could go either way, but Bobby did have a bit of a power move there. Yeah, if he beds this, he's back in it, baby. There we go. Boom goes the dynamite for Brett. Hollinday betting those 17s. He may have a chance to close out these 20s and 18s if Bobby does 5 mark or so. Oh, gosh. This is it. This is it. He could do it.
This is a big
Would he go
moment.
for it, Nick?
I think even if you hit a first start single, there's an argument to try to take the 20 away. But first start triple, you absolutely have to. He's going to stay in this given scenario. I think there's a lot of value to getting rid of the 20, but I think that he was absolutely pot committed because he only hit a 4 mark after 2 darts rather than if he hit a 6. We'll see if that's enough. You really want to get a shot those 20s away from Bobby right now.
We're in the same position here. I think he's relishing an opportunity to make up for last round. He'll probably stay on 17 the whole time, though. I don't know if he wants to take one away at a time, like just the 20s.
It looks like that's what he agrees with you. He hits a beautiful 8. He takes away one at a time.
Brett, we're on the same page.
You
I
guys
love
are
it.
locked in. Can't tell the difference.
We are locked in. Yeah. Jason Watt took issue with me calling him adorable earlier, and I stand by it. Jason, look at the man. He's cute as hell.
Well, it was a beautiful shot there from Brett. Hit that A mark, got control back of the leg. And honestly, I think he could have afforded after one trip to take that look, but what he ended up doing worked out better. Forced an error from Bobby, and now he has control.
Wow.
Now that is an error back. I will say this leaves an opportunity for a 9.
I'm very surprised by that. I mean, it's overall marks in his favor, and maybe that's going to be. Oh my goodness! I was on the edge of my seat. He was going for points still, naturally, but now it should be an easy cleanup job here for Brett.
Yeah, this should be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, and that's fine. At least he gets 2 darts at it. No matter what, as long as he had at least a single in that first start, he had 2 darts to shoot. That's 16. Yeah. It could have been a lot worse, though, because now Bobby has an opportunity. And again, this is another one of those moments where Bobby had to really consider, okay, what if I hit a 6 mark? Do I take the look down in points? he does still hit a 6 after missing the first start. Great recovery, but Brett, if he closes these 15s, I'll have advantage going into the Bulls.
I think he's gonna trip 17 as well. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Boom goes the dynamite to guarantee this. Like I thought absolutely a bull on the last start, but he doesn't care. He's feeling himself. Look at the crowd.
He threw his arms up. They're all giggling back there.
Yeah.
Sean's line of 16.5 9 marks for tonight is getting blown out of the water, by the way, as that we are now currently at 18 for the match is where we're at right now. Beautiful stuff from these players. I like that Jason's sending Troy some Oreos in the chat, by the way. You guys are all being friends over there. Look at you guys all hanging out.
Excuse me, what about the girl that just discovered there's a mega stuffed?
You can go
I'm
to
gonna drop
the
my
store.
address right now. I don't know. That involves going outside. And
That's true. You can DoorDash. You get Postmates.
Okay, Ritzy. Postmates.
What? I don't.
A well-deserved leg. Wow, Brett. So we have a 7-5 lead for Brett, correct?
Yeah, that's going to be a 7-5 lead. He is now 4 on the spin after the break. He's absolutely doing a breakaway here, and what we thought was guaranteed to be a last leg decider is now starting to be a full-on breakaway. This is very interesting stuff. If you're Bobby, what do you got to do right now to get out of this scenario?
Well, he's got the start. That is everything. I think a 7 mark 20. I think a 2 round in a row 7 mark or more. Oh gosh, I think he's just lost his feel. He's lost his groove a little bit. I think unfortunately for him, this might be it just because of that open. Because Brett's in a great mood. He's got a winning mindset. Okay, he does the bare minimum. So I had to stop myself. I was like, wait a second.
No, you were doing great. The chat is making me crack up right now.
Okay, good. Because they're still talking about Oreos.
And Jason Watts saying such an adorable leg, Brett. It was very funny to me. You guys are cracking me up. And then the twins asking, is Ram Guevara here? I'm here watching my dad, Ram. Well, your dad is going to be playing not this Monday, but next Monday in the 3rd place match of Division 1 against Don Stewart. No CSC this week. Very important to note. We have NDA team darts, so the entire team is out of town. Myself, Jen, Sean's over in California, and we got Will, of course, in Vegas with us as well. So Ram will be playing that not this Monday, but next Monday, and the winner of this will go on to play as well.
Tom Stewart goes.
Jordan Meyer, by the way. Don Stewart says who? Don Stewart played great by the way on Monday. Called 9-6. It's exactly what happened. I'll take my raise whenever you want, partners spraying darts.
I mean, I'm feeling weirdly confident about my 9-5 guess now. I had absolutely no reason to be confident coming in saying that, but I just wanted to be spunky and spice it up and just do something a little out there.
Well, Bobby does find that 9. It helps get things settled back into place a little bit here. We'll end up seeing where this is going. We'll see. This was close. Right now, Bobby needs this leg. You can't afford to lose this leg. You need some stuff to start going in your favor, and you need to start now. 8-5, we've seen it as the impossible comeback number. I don't think we've successfully seen an 8-5 comeback on the stream. Ram was the closest in the CSC 5 final, where he was at 8-5 down, brought all the way to a last leg decider, and they hit 53 9 marks while doing that.
Wow.
The most, I wouldn't say unbeatable record, but the hardest to reach record in CSC history is probably that one.
I certainly don't have enough gas in the tank for 53 booms. I can barely get like 9 out.
53 and 17 legs is so crazy. It was almost an equal distribution between him and Mike.
Speaking of which, boom goes the dynamite for Mr. Bobby Dees Jr.
We're at 20. I think he's on track to be the most 9 marks in Division 2 this season. Currently on pace for that. This is a great matchup between these guys. We've seen a little bit interesting stuff in Division 2. We've either seen matches be way closer than we could have possibly predicted, or vice versa. We've also seen a lot of matches that start getting into blowout territory. Bobby's trying anything to avoid that. And if he wins his leg and he's only down 1, his mental is going to be fine and reset. So he has to just kind of trust the process here. And Brett trying to make sure that process shouldn't be trusted.
Yeah, I fully agree with Mike's statement just now. For Bobby to open up 2 marks in 2 rounds and be in this position, this leg is absolutely crazy. I'm thoroughly impressed. He should be proud of himself because that's a major comeback. He's looking in a great position right now.
I also want to say I love all of our commenters equally in chat, especially everyone talking about Oreo still. Mike Redmond and Tim Goodwin from Arizona and Purple Punch Productions, always with dynamite drop-ins in the comment section, really flexing their analyst knowledge. So always love when you guys give us those insights.
Brett's not going to make it easy on him, though, because we've got a boom goes the dynamite. Took away that 18. One more big round required, though, because like 17 is easy. That's my favorite number. I mean, I still feel we see a lot of beds there.
Oh,
okay, Bobby. Oh, Bobby. What are you, Bobby? Oh, my goodness.
That was an incredible shot there. Bobby ends up nailing a
speechless.
big one. That's so important at this point. And Brett's just going to go ahead and close and take the 5-3 on the Bulls. Because actually, sorry, yeah, it is going to be 5-3. It'll be 2 points shy. Oh my goodness, so interesting. But Bobby's been struggling on his Bulls. He needs to have full confidence in him right here. This is important. Does so.
Double bull. There we go. Wow. Fantastic. I'm thoroughly impressed. I can see Brett forcing the bull race with the 7-5 lead, but I don't know. Someone coming off a 9 mark like that is going to feel confident in the hat trick. I think always, even if they have previously struggled.
Someone come off a 9 like that's also that where they started with a trip 17 is going to feel confident tripping betting the 17s as well. So, it's kind of you need help from your opponent in that situation. I think Brett just tried to flex his 7-5 advantage there, and it just didn't go in his way. But overall, that was a perfectly timed shot though from Brett to put in that position, and then perfectly answered timing from Bobby. So really, just great play from both of them, and great comeback from Bobby. In that leg, he needs this one too, though. 8-6 is still pretty tough, so you need to try to make the 7-7, make it all forgiven.
I think it's going to be hard on him. I mean, Brett's he's got the experience on his side. He knows how to overcome any kind of slowdown. I mean, look at him go. Those first 2 rounds, brilliant. 7 mark, 7 mark.
And again, when Brett's feeling good, that man's an athlete. Let me tell you, he is in prime position right now. He's feeling good. And Bobby, did he give himself too much work to do? The answer is saying no, probably not. He could still absolutely do this. I mean, he has only won 2 of the 6 legs after the break, though, and that's just a hard spot to put yourself in when you start off so good in the first half.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of just. Like we saw in the beginning, there was a lot of averaging maybe 3-5, close to 4, and it was more of just a dominating back and forth who's going first. But now Brett's a little more consistent even as he's losing. He is just not letting off the gas. He has so much stamina.
Well, he's significantly improving. He's at 0.4 above his halftime average now. So he's at a 4.82. He's nearing that 5 range. He's only gotten better as this match has progressed. And so has Bobby at a 4.65.
Wow, Brett's dropped a lot of darts, and almost every time, I think besides the very first time he dropped the dart, he trips after he resets himself. So I'm just impressed by that. I'm always a hot mess after my darts have fallen out of my hands.
Boom goes the dynamite there from Bobby Dees Jr. This is a 3-number versus 2-number. This is such an interesting game state. You don't see something like this very often, let alone in the CSC, where you see 20s, 18s, 16s versus 17s and 15s. This is a unique case here. Right now, what Bobby needs to do is take advantage of the fact that he wants to bring this down to a 2-2 on the number race. He is looking for a first start trip, try to stab a close, try to go back to points. It's one of the few times I'd recommend point, close, point instead of point, point, close. Is where he's trying to get his stabs where he can. Vice versa, Brett right now is taking advantage of the fact that he has 2 prime pieces of real estate and 1 subprime mortgage at the bottom end with the 16s. He just needs to don't know why I went with subprime mortgage. I just watched The Big Short again recently. But he's doing this is such an interesting battle because it's so hard to get out of it when you're down 3 numbers, but when you have 2 of your own, it makes the math a little bit more in your favor, and that's exactly what he does there. 4 marks to try to get the close.
Oh, this is one of my favorite legs so far. I think it's we're just slowly wearing down these houses. We're marking them here and there. No one's come in with a huge moment in this second half of the leg. So it's going to be the first person to really break away. Oh no, that's an untimely 3 mark.
Yeah, and all Brett needs to do is 2 17s and literally anything else. Because if he has 2 17s, he's going to feel great. He has the 3 highest numbers available on the board to pushing his opponent to the 15s. Masterful play there from Brett Hollinday. Takes a stab, goes back up to protect his numbers. Great stuff there indeed from the Minnesota man. Val Guevara in the chat saying, my twins just showed me this and I'm dying laughing at her comments. Next time he plays, I'll make sure they're in the comment section. That's good to know. Hey, Val, hope you're doing great as always.
Yeah. Brett with the point in the last start. Oh, no, he's going to go straight for it.
Yeah, I would have recommended probably to add a little bit there just in case. Bobby has an argument now where he needs to hit 4 bulls or he needs to close all the numbers. And whichever one you pick, you commit.
Yep.
He chose the 4 bulls, hits the 4 bulls.
That's certainly what I would have chosen. However, I'm averaging far less, so I don't just whip out 9 marks like whenever I want.
Well, that's the real secret. Have you seen Ram throw? He does it whenever he wants.
Yeah. But he's #blessed, so that's just a different scenario.
Blessed. That's true. Now, here's what Bobby needs to do in this scenario. It's very similar to the earlier strategy. 2 darts of the bull, 1 dart to try to stab a close, but only if he has the point lead up. That's typically where you're going to find yourself. The other way you can go about it is all the bulls you can get, hope you outscore Brett, and then try to get 1 shot at closing everything. I definitely think the safer plan is to try to take back and forth stabs. Right there, he stayed on for that 3rd dart, only pushed a 40-point lead. Brett instantly closes that gap.
No way, Jose, for Brett. He's going to make this an unwinnable leg for Bobby. Wow. It's funny how good a 1080 can feel at the end of a leg rather than opening that way. That probably felt better to him there than to start a leg.
Well, you hit a 180 to start a leg, you're thinking, I'm likely to win this leg. I just start off perfect. If you hit a 180 at this point in the leg, you're thinking, I'm guaranteed to win this leg.
Yes.
Brett to get himself to match point. Doesn't do it quite yet. No danger on that. Even if Bobby hits a 3 in the black, you still feel like Brett's favored just because of the position.
Yep.
But doesn't mean Bobby shouldn't try. He's going to try. Oh, I thought it was going to happen there for a second. I was feeling it a little bit.
Last round, I often think when someone hits the bull very high, it's hard to fit the rest in. There's a lot of potential for deflection, or you might accidentally stack above, which is exactly what happened in this last start. You know, I might have gone bull first dart just to see if it would fall out. Oh, he didn't go for the win.
That
honestly really surprises me.
They're not close to a round out either, so I really don't understand that. It's giving Bobby an opportunity to kind of sneak his way back in. It's up to Bobby to take it. He's not going to. But yeah, Brett could have definitely finished that up there. I don't think it was intentional, but it's also maybe doing a little bit of mental games. I don't think Bobby was expecting to have another throw in this leg.
Right. Frustrated with himself, unfortunately. I mean, we feel it. We've all been there. We have a brilliant opportunity to do something huge. No excuses this time. He's got to go straight for it.
Whoa, well off the margins.
There we go.
That was a little bit of a scare there for Brett towards the end of the leg, but it does get himself to match point.
You know what? I mean, missing low, I always find much easier to correct high. So I think that was an easy correction for him. But yeah, it was very, very interesting. He didn't go for the win. I'm honestly shocked by that. But hey, it turned out in his favor regardless. Like you said, 8-6. We're at match point, right? And it'll be Bobby to start us off.
And Bobby, it's now or never. 2 on the spin and a good diddle is all he's thinking. And you got to think even smaller than that. Think 3 good darts to start this off, 3 good darts to follow it. That's what you're thinking about right now. You're in control of your own destiny. It's up to you to deny Brett by seizing your own opportunity, not the other way around. Steve Diker with a great call in chat saying Brett had 2 or 3 games with 9 marks going into bulls. Yeah, I mean, I think Brett's timing has really been one of the strongest suits of his game that we've seen consistently. It's always been something we've had to highlight with him. But that being said, right here, first 3 darts at match point, and it's only a 2 mark. I want to see Bobby play aggressive, take some gambles.
Brilliant darts there. I think he's already secured the leg this early on. With Brett, I feel like he struggles when he misses high. He struggles to adapt. I think he would benefit from moving side to side along the Aki to be able to squeeze in those darts.
Well, he's
A little too late, I think, for that 7 mark.
Yeah, it's more likely it should be, especially with Bobby's position here. It's going to be because Bobby just hit a 9 mark.
Beautiful darts. Man, I'm still, again, the stamina of these guys. We are nearly 2 hours into the match. They're both continuously raising their averages. They're throwing fantastic.
And they're probably there. Both of them are probably there 2 hours before their match, if not pretty close to that, because that's about the time where I remember checking the cameras. And I think that's when they were there. That being said, Bobby doing a lot of stuff right this leg. And all Brett's thinking right now is, this is fine. I just got to make sure I get a good start in this next leg. But this is very interesting moment for Brett to start to have some struggles. This is his, the last league ended at a 4.57, but it was much better than that for a majority. He's at a 4.5 right now, but just post break for Brett Hollinday, 4.5, 6.0, 4.8, 5.62, 5.72, 4.75, and a 4.57. So to have your lowest leg, which is currently this one right now, be at this point, shows a little bit of potential finish line-itis.
You have such a way with words, Nick.
Thanks. I'm an only child that played Minecraft videos by myself. Bobby to get Dees leg on the board for him.
Brett a little frustrated, but he might turn that fury into fuel on this last leg.
Fury into fuel is good.
Potential last leg.
If you're Brett, you're thinking this is the last leg. If you're Bobby, you're thinking, please don't let this be the last leg. And that's exactly where your head's at right now. And if you're the fans, you're thinking, we're already here. Let's go ahead and go the full distance. So you see Brett throws up his hand, says, all right, here we go. Oh, his demeanor is hilarious.
No, he is so funny.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bare minimum only gets a 3. Bobby is going to feel like this is a blessing. Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. Go for it, Nick.
Boom goes the dynamite. Bobby Dees Jr. punishing Brett Hollinday with maximum damage.
That was so good.
Thanks. That's what you pay me for.
Did you say that's what I pay you for?
Yeah, like personally, I thought you gave me $5 to do that. So that's the impression I got.
Got it. Oh, Lord. I'll be doing the rest of the boom calls for the night.
Okay. We're at 25, which is they are throwing quite a lot of 9s, but look at this, Brett. I'm not sure what changed, but you could see it a little bit in the last leg. You can see it a lot of it in this leg. Very interesting. This is highly likely for Bobby now to bring this to a last leg decider, Jen.
Yeah, I wonder how it'll affect him mentally. I mean, I can still see Brett just starting off fire on another leg, but it's certainly it's in Bobby's hands on this one. And he's had a couple of unfortunate misses, like I was saying before. He's missing high, which is hard for him to correct down. He's missing left, which takes him a minute to get that feel of snapping the wrist forward. Again, too high on the 16 technically, being above the triple, so it's just really difficult for him to squeeze in if he's not moving around, and he tends to just stay put on the Aki.
Yeah, we've seen 0 legs under a 3. This is an only 1 leg under a 4 for Brett, and this is the time for it to show. Now, knowing that the diddle is coming up here, regardless of if of course, Brett's still going to fight in this leg as much as he can, but part of him is probably thinking, okay, we're just going to reset. Do you think that 3 dart count up? Let me try that 3 times fast. That 3 dart count up, do you think that makes a difference? Because instead of like throwing 1 high pressure dart for the diddle, they get 3. Do you think that might help resettle him going into this last leg decider?
1,000%. He's definitely someone who's got a little bit of a move and groove to himself. He wants to be able to get his feel back. He has a difficult time stopping and correcting when things go astray. I think if he gets that first dart position, like right now, then he goes fire. Oh, we missed low on that one. That was a awesome stacking opportunity there.
Awesome
I would've
stacking
followed,
opportunity was the tagline for the first Tetris game.
I was gonna follow Jason Kinney. He's saying you don't need to squeeze him in. You just need to hit the other dart hard enough to push it in and score it. So it touches the matrix. That would have been exactly what I would have done on those 15s. Is just throw it super hard right at where I had it.
Here we go.
He's trying, but it's not going to be enough here.
Yeah, Bobby, here's his opportunity to be able to put himself at match point, regain control. This is likely. He knows. You can see the extra moment taken to get to the line. He's taking a deep breath. And everyone with bated breath at Legends Bar in Proctor, Minnesota.
Yeah, I think Bobby's a little more of a calculating player. He really takes his time to set himself up. He stops on the last dart a lot. The only time I see Brett reset himself is if he drops his dart and then he's fire.
And he's still going to fire away on these bulls. The point that Bobby's kind of struggled on a little bit. I think... Here's the thing. It's 45-point difference. I think one real strong dart at this first bull helps, or vice versa, get a strong 19 and give yourself free range. That time it works out great, pushes himself off. Brett needs 5 bulls now to try to put off a game shot, which, again, Brett has brought up his average so much just on the bulls. This is actually kind of crazy. Here we go, Bobby. Last leg decider. Are we going the distance? Are we going for speed? We're all alone now. In our time of need, Bobby Dees makes it 8-8.
Brilliant 16th leg going to Bobby. Wow. I think we are going to have a good last leg decider. What do you think, Nick?
I've never seen a last leg decider that I didn't like. Actually, it's not true. But no, we've seen some crazy last leg deciders. In CSC history, we get usually 1 or 2 a season. I think that this one has everything it's supposed to be. I think this is going to be a recovery moment for Brett. I think it's Bobby on the rebound as well. There's a lot of things going right now for Bobby, and Brett had the higher ceiling the whole night. This is the moment where it matters most. It doesn't matter what the internet issues were at the beginning. It doesn't matter if you were called adorable or not. All that matters is your darts and how they hit the board.
I think what does matter is how you prefer your Oreos. Do you want them mega stuffed? Do you want them double?
In my mouth.
There he goes, a single mark. Oh, he went for
No, that was right. He already had after the first
I
darts,
was thinking
he had the diddle.
Yeah, I was thinking it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
I caught myself there. I forgot about the first dart.
But no, totally crushes it there. Bobby's going to get the start. Brett needs a regroup right now. This is where Gina should go. Slap him across the face, give him a shot of apple pie, and say, let's throw some darts.
I mean, we've seen him win a ton of legs just this match going second. It's really just we've seen him open well. We've seen him come in clutch later. I think it's anyone's game.
Yeah, both players have had multiple breaks of throws throughout the evening, so anything's possible. Bobby, he started off so well in that last leg. This time, very reminiscent of his strugglesome era with only 2 there. You look at everyone at the bar right now in Legends. They're pushing for a big start here. Brett gets forgiven on the diddle. Can he seize the start here in this last leg decider? Chat, who are you picking right now? Tell us. Oh, good marker, but catches the wrong side of the wire, but does find a trip.
There you go.
This is a great matchup.
If I'm Bobby, I'm not too worried. I could just think to myself, okay, like in my head, Brett went first. And now if I have a strong open on 19, I can just poke that 20 and call it even.
I like his shot selection, but he did miss the big number. And no matter what, if you close the 19, I want to take a dart at that 20 if I have a dart left. But you have to stay calculated because that single 19 is so massive. It's fine, but obviously Brett got let off a little bit there. This is going to be a tight leg for these guys. This is where you're pushing those darts. You're thinking about the finish line. It's so close. It's so nerve wracking. I could never play in a position like this because every time I've crumbled.
Wow.
Unlike Brett, who finds the 7.
A lot of equal love in the chat for both players. They've played a fantastic match. Someone said, no matter what, it was an amazing match, regardless of who wins. And we're seeing it become very competitive now. Oof, I don't know. I don't know, Nick.
This is great stuff. 7-mark answer from Bobby. Brett here should be staying on the 18. If I'm Brett, I'm thinking I'm not moving unless I hit 6.
Yep.
No,
He's
he
not.
moves after 4.
Oh my goodness.
But now
I can't believe that choice.
Yeah, the reason I say that is because a first start trip enables a lot of opportunities to get rid of the higher number. The 17s have been the number tonight for Bobby. But this time only finds 4. This is down to the wire, folks. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I can feel the tension. There he goes.
Palpable.
That's good correction. Stay there. Yes. Yeah, it's still there. I feel they're in the exact same position as 2 rounds ago, where it could be anyone. First one to hit 7 mark, 9 mark, or just close that is going to really change the pace of the game.
Oh, and it
Bobby
really just comes
really taking his time.
Yeah, it's such a tough spot to find yourself in because every dart you're living and dying on, there was the bare minimum to add a dart to Brett's throw. Brett's thinking, I've been crushing this 18. Let me hit one big shot. But it's so easy to push those darts in this moment to really have your hand shake a little bit. And you just need that one perfect collect, like you said, Jen. He might play this aggressive. No, he stays. No room. And he kind of almost guaranteed that it was going to be a single in the last.
Yeah, I guess I'm very bad at predicting their moves because I would have assumed he would just go for the same aggressive shot, especially with Bobby slowing down right now, several rounds in a row, not being able to power score. But here he is. He caught fire. It is looking good for Bobby.
Now, here's the thing. Bobby's riding on these 17s really well. If I'm Bobby, I'm thinking, I want to make sure, A, Brett doesn't get a chance to shoot my 17s, but B, I need to ask myself, am I scared of how Brett's hitting the 18s? The answer is right now, not as much as I was earlier. And if I'm anything, I'm thinking, okay, let me go ahead and get a couple trips on the 17 and then try to grab a 15 or 16, I think is a good route for Bobby in this scenario. Yeah. And Brett's just trying to just get it going for one big turn. Hi, Dios mío, chat. Donde está la biblioteca? What is happening?
This is insane. I'm very surprised by the hot and cold nature here. I thought Bobby would be feeling really confident, especially after that last leg. And with Brett getting a little on tilt right now, a little bit emotional. But every time he reapproaches the line, he looks like a different man. Yeah.
Bobby just threw up his hands like he felt like he just lost the match on that last throw.
That.
Yeah, they're both, and that time he might be right because Brett Hollinday hits a big trip, but you're still within 9-mark range. A big 9 on the 2 16s and an 18 pushes Brett to a tough shot. If you hit even 5, you're still in the mix. This is so close, but you can't follow a 1 with a 2 in this scenario because Brett now, if he gets 3 16s, is very likely to win. These guys are showing that this third place seat. These were the guys to be fighting for it. This is so close.
Ooh, he's taking his time because he knows he's done the hard thing. Now, what do I do? Do I completely take the match away from him? Do I keep it close? Do I point 2 ahead with Bobby being frustrated? Oh no, he goes straight for it.
He goes straight for it. I think that's a mistake. But it's only a mistake if Bobby makes it one. Now, if you trip the 15 and hit a little bit extra, you wouldn't. But I think 4-3 in the bulls, I would take that risk right now. I would go if I trip that 15 on the first start, single 16, trip 18. I think that I would rather take the 4-3. Now he doesn't get it, so he has to stay, and now he needs a trip, not that one.
Oh my goodness!
The last 9 darts from Bobby have been nightmarish for him.
I think he sped up his pace a little bit as well, feeling a little frustrated, maybe just not feeling his groove. And it's been the death of him. Oh, wow. Good last.
Great dart from Brett. Great recollect and move over to the 18s. Would have preferred to play a little bit more conservative play for making sure you got at least 2 to push the bull. But you know what? If you hit the last dart trip, it doesn't matter. Bobby can only hit a bunch of bulls and hope for a favor from Brett. A favor that Brett doesn't want to give after being down and out in this match and then putting Bobby down and out. It's been back and forth. And both of them are just thinking, man, can this be over?
I feel for him. I think he's just kind of chucking him up there at this point out of frustration. But I actually, if I was Bobby in that position, I would still think it could be my game. If I just, absolutely destroy the bulls. I think it would have taken a lot more time to approach the line.
Well, Bobby's been an absolute competitor this season. Getting to fourth place is quite the feat. Some that we've seen try so many times, failing to get to that point. It's been something that hasn't been a failure for Bobby. He's been great this season. He's had moments of brilliance, and unfortunately, his darts just kind of got away from him at the very last leg of the twilight moments of a very great match. That, despite the internet issues, despite everything else, has been truly a great Division II classic, all-time classic performance. Mostly because of the commentary and chat. No, I'm just kidding. Because of the great darts. So you get there's a lot of pauses for Bobby to take away here.
One bull, and he gets it done, and he's so excited. Congratulations to Brett Hollinday, who will move on to our third place match, right? Correct, Nick? Is that against Jordan Meyer?
That is correct. And you can look, Brett's celebrating. He is feeling great right now. He is fist bumping everybody. He is having a lot of fun. And obviously Bobby feeling a little bit of despair in that moment, feeling, look at the cha-cha from Brett. No one was ready for the cha-cha from Brett Hollinday. But Brett, I mean, he wants to show that no one's ever two-peated in Division II. No one's ever won it twice. He wants to be the first one to do so.
I'm amazed that his group of friends here watching him sticking it out for 2 hours, even a few hours prior to that, potentially depending on how early they got there. He came prepared. He overcame some turmoil of the internet issues. He had some amazing averages. He had the most 9 marks. Everything was just in his favor statistically, and it really could have gone either way. Like that was an amazing accomplishment for him last leg.
The real reason they're all celebrating is because Brett and Gina own the bar. They probably all get free drinks now, right? Is that how that works? No, that was some great stuff. At the end of the day here, Bobby has maintained with that last leg. It brought his average back down to exactly where it was at break. He averaged a 4.6 on the day, which isn't too far off. Again, he was coming into this match at a 4.72, so 0.12 below his season average at his exiting point. Brett came in at 4.67. He averaged a 4.64 tonight. Call that a statistical similarity if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, something you said earlier really caught my attention. Of we never saw them go to have multiple houses open, especially coming from a position being behind, trying to give themselves more opportunity and more cushion. I think it might have happened a couple of times, but that always surprises me. I think, especially when they found themselves struggling on a specific number, it would have been interesting to see someone try to maximize the total number of darts rather than just going for that 3-dart close quickly. I think we could have seen a lot more comebacks, perhaps with a little bit different strategy. But overall, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a more competitive match point kind of competition there. So that was very exciting. I very much enjoyed it.
Well, that's what I believe I've said verbatim. Bobby and Brett said, we want to make sure Jen Mounts gets a thriller to commentate. No, it was.
I leaned out. They could care less.
Well, I don't know. You did call Brett adorable, but no, it was a great matchup. It was incredible performance from both these guys. And honestly, this is one of those matches I want to take it back, immediately do some breakdown of some of the strategy moments there, because I think, man, there was some fascinating moments in this matchup, but a great run for Bobby Dees. We already talked about it a little bit, but getting fourth place, that's not too shabby. Brett Hollinday, one match away from making his second ever finals appearance in the CSC Challenger Series Division 2. He won season at number 1 with a 5-0 for the season. Would love to replicate that performance towards the tail end, but Jordan Meyer stands in staunch defense of this finals berth.
Well, an adorable win for an adorable man tonight. Thanks for everyone for watching.
That's for you guys.
Yeah. I hope Brett knows he's been labeled.
How do I?
Oh,
wait.
How do I
angle?
Nope.
That's close enough.
We're so bad at that. It was terrible.
Well, everyone, thank you all for tuning in and for supporting us, supporting the PPD. Make sure to go to dartstoc.com if you guys want to find out more information about Partners Promoting Darts. And guys, have you seen the new Future Knights Shot launch? Check out all the new barrel designs and choose your weapon by buying a set today. Just app the banner on the website over at a-to-zdarts.com. That's a-zdarts.com.
Chivalry isn't dead, folks. a-zdarts.com. There you go.
You had one job. You didn't do the A to Z ad read. You said, I got it. I'm going to crush the ad read.
in fairness, with the technical issues, and we restarted. I didn't want to bog down. We had to tell that Will Stewart story about the In the Arms of the Angel. That was number one priority. A to Z ad number. Yeah, I'm here, so that's enough A to Z reference for everyone. They got it. We don't want to beat them over the head with it.
Jen, it's a pleasure. Honestly, our best performance in commentary the whole season, I'm sure. It's been so much fun. Yeah, I think so too. And this was a great time. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Make sure to get your Mega Stuff Oreos. And as Jen Mount says, I was about to say F it, but I decided not to. All right, guys, see you around. Have a good one.